Hey guys, good morning. Super excited today because today I want to show you the Rolex Explorer reference 214270. This is the Mark II with the 2016 updates. I actually have it on my wrist right now. It's a beautiful watch. And I wanted to kind of do a re-unboxing and show you kind of what's in the box, show you the watch. This is kind of one of Rolex's really classic models. And with a lot of these new 2020 updates, with a lot of things bumping up to 41 millimeters, got some of the bigger sizes. This is one of Rolex's classically sized sports models at 39 millimeters. And it's just a very classic watch. It is very versatile. It is suitable for a lot of different situations. I think it kind of toes the line between sporty and dressy, and is just a very appealing, everyday, understated, versatile, sporty Rolex. So without further ado, let me go ahead and flip the camera and show you guys what's in the box. All right guys, so let me show you what's in the box and what comes with it. So this is the outer box, the paper outer box. And then this is, obviously comes with a green Rolex bag as well. And then this is the kind of the little card thing with the receipt that's inside as well. So let me go ahead and pop this open. Hope you guys are having a great week so far, and hoping you guys are all staying healthy during these COVID times. So let me take off this paper covering here that's covering the plastic box. And it is a plastic box, I believe. It's not the fanciest of boxes, but it is very classically sized. It's not overly big, overly gaudy, anything like that. It just looks like a nice little jewelry box. And I guess they're Rolex, so they can do what they want. So let me go ahead and pop this open. And there it is, guys. The beautiful Rolex Explorer 1, reference 214270. This is the Mark II version. And I'll go through some of the Mark II updates when we take a closer look at the watch. Pop this open here. This compartment has just, your instruction manual. This is specifically tailored for the Explorer 1. And it's really simple, right? Because this is a time-only watch. It just has the hours, minutes, and seconds. So it's not like the Datejust with an additional complication, or like a Daytona with like a chronograph function. Very simple stuff, but walks through the watch and walks through some of the functions of the Easy Link function on the bracelet. So yeah, I really like the shiny green coloring and material on these manuals. Looks really nice. And here is the warranty booklet. The Rolex warranty is good for up to 5 years. It's an international warranty, so if you're traveling or something like that, you can bring your Rolex into any service center and they will service the watch for you. So that's an added level of reassurance. So before diving into the watch, there's a couple other things in here. There's the hang tag with the superlative certification on there. There is the bezel protector. Probably should have put it on there prior to the opening the box, but there it is, all the same. And there are a couple of extra links in here as well, in case you decide to sell it, or if you gain a few pounds. So there's that. And here's the watch, guys. What a beauty, right? This is an amazing watch. And the first thing you'll notice is just how classic it is. It's a very unassuming watch. It's not a watch where at a distance, unless you are a watch nut like me and know what you're looking for, it's not something that screams Rolex immediately. In the same way that maybe a Datejust or a Submariner would. It just looks like, any old watch. It kind of looks like the Seiko Sarb that I have. And that's because it just has very plain yet classic design language. It's got the polished bezel, it's got the slim oyster case, and the classic oyster bracelet, but it doesn't do anything too ostentatiously, too gaudy, which I really enjoy. I like an everyday Rolex that just kind of flies under the radar and doesn't have everyone's attention. You know, it just has a very nice understated appeal to it. So the dimensions of this guy, 39 millimeters in diameter, one of Rolex's last classic sports models under 40 millimeters. The Air King is 40, I believe. The Submariner, as you guys know, got bumped up to 41 millimeters. And, you know, the Datejust is, there's a 41 millimeter, well, I guess it's not really technically a sports model. You know, you got your Daytonas, you got your Batmans, but this is really the only classic Rolex sports model that stays under that 40 millimeter mark, which is really great. I really enjoy that. So anyways, 39 millimeters in diameter. It's about 11.2 millimeters thick. It has a height of about 48 millimeters. So it does sit relatively wide on the wrist for its diameter, but nothing too outrageous. And the lug-to-lug distance is, or lug-to-lug width is 20 millimeters. Very nice standard lug width there. And the 20 also tapers down to this lovely 16 millimeter at the bottom. So it wears extremely light, extremely comfortable on the wrist. And then it tapers down to the clasp, which I think tapers, comes actually back up to about 18 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful oyster clasp. It has the classic sports style bracelet, professional bracelet. There is an Easy Link system in here. You can see that. It's this little piece right here. And what that does is if your wrist shrinks when you're cold or when you're hungry first thing in the morning, you can actually snap this guy over like so. And it gives you an extra, I believe it's 2 millimeters, it could be 2 or 5. It's basically the same length as one of these links. So that's good to have that flexibility there. So Mark II, right? Some of the Mark II updates. So prior to this reference, Rolex had another 39 millimeter Explorer, which came out in 2011. That was called the Mark I, at least in the Rolex fan community. And the Mark I was the same size, same movement, same dimensions, everything, same bracelet. The only difference between that example and this one was that the 3, 6, and 9 numerals were actually in white gold, solid white gold, and they were not lume filled. Now with this watch, they are lume filled. So the 3, 6, and 9 will also glow in Rolex's proprietary Chromolite blue lume, which looks amazing, extremely legible, and just looks incredible in the dark. And it's very practical as well. Another change that they made was they extended the length of the hands, the hour, minute, and I believe probably seconds hand as well, because when they first released the 214270, that reference actually still retained the same shorter hands from the previous 36 millimeter model, the 114270. So sometimes that Mark I reference is referred to as the T-Rex because of its short hands. So something interesting to note. So I think the Mark II is very refined. It's as modern as this watch needs to be, and I think the improvements are very well appreciated by us watch fans. So let me get this watch on the wrist. I know I've blabbered on enough about the specs. I have a 6.5 inch wrist And as you can see, it wears beautifully on my wrist. I do have a bit of a smaller wrist, so the under 40 millimeter size is appreciated. And the watch wears very thin due to its 11.2 millimeter thickness. And so it'll dress up easily due to its thin profile. It can just slide right under a dress sleeve, jacket cuff very easily. And it just has, it can do dress duty, but I also feel that it also has a casual vibe to it as well. I could wear this watch every day, but I could dress it up and I can dress it down. And that's something I really appreciate about this watch. It's a solid everyday watch. Screw down crown, 100 meters of water resistance, Oyster, Rolex's Oyster case. Makes it very rugged and versatile. The movement that's powering this watch is the Rolex caliber 3132, which is their in-house. Everything is totally in-house, and the watch beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's extremely accurate, superlative COSC certified at -2 to +2 per day, so it's extremely accurate. And the power reserve is 48 hours. So some of the newer watches that are coming out, especially the 3200 series, I actually have a Datejust 41 that has the 3235 movement. That does have an additional power reserve of 70 hours. So this one does, the movement is tried and true. It's a very classic movement. But in terms of the power reserve, it is slightly lagging behind its 3200 brethren that has come out in a lot of its sports models, or a lot of its models. So you'll see that in the new Submariner that came out, the new Oyster Perpetuals, and as I mentioned, in the Datejust 41s as well. So this watch is due for an update very soon. I believe it's probably within the next year is what I've read. And so they're talking about making some updates to the Rolex Explorer 1. There's a lot of speculation about what they'll actually do to the design, to the sizing. I actually talked to my AD about this, and the gentleman that I was working with, he just said, it's very likely that they'll update the movement. He's not so sure that they'll do anything crazy in terms of the aesthetics, and I don't think that they will. And he doesn't think that they'll update the size to anything over 39. I think they'll probably retain the 39 millimeter sizing, just in keeping with the classic size. I think it'll upset a lot of fans if they bump it up past 39. Plus, they're trying to maintain some of that design continuity with, keeping the 41s, in sort of like the OP sizing, Oyster Perpetual sizing, Datejust sizing. I don't think they'll want to blur the lines too much. I think they'll want to keep this as a more exclusive model, in sort of like a league of its own. So there you have it, guys. The Rolex Explorer 1. I'm going to be uploading some more videos just talking about it, showing maybe some how this pairs with certain outfits and how it measures up against some of my other watches in my collection. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. And if you have any questions or feedback or suggestions or comments, please let me know. And if you have a chance to subscribe to my channel, if you love these videos and you want to see more stuff, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. So thanks, guys. I'll chat with you guys later. Hope you have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week, and you guys are all staying safe and healthy in these strange times. Cheers, guys. I'll talk to you soon.